Hello everyone, this is Maffuman coming at you with a StarCraft Star Battle. We got a 6-on-6 shipbuilding action game. We got a Stim Zealot, the Arbiter, Predator, the Overlord with that Plague, Predator with the Plague, Brian, the no ability Raven, just going for some speed, a little bit of shields, and Pita, the 4 laser having particle disruptor shooting Colossus. Now, I'm going to defend the 4 laser upgrades until the day that I die. Although I think with the 25 extra money that he had, if he, he could have probably farmed a little bit more. But the 4 lasers will help him get some money. If he can farm, if he can be left alone, he can do quite a bunch. But Twisted Balls does not let him do that. He also has 4 lasers, and he also wants to farm. And he's just trying to use his range, shoot him a little bit, pushing him on back. Neither of them are going to be super aggressive because they both want that sweet cash. We got MaffumanCasting going to use his burst lasers, trying to stay with his buddies. Bronco, the Overlord, saying, hey, I can use this Plague in a few more seconds. Let me try to push him on up. We got 3 kind of like nerdy, slappy, support ships, trying to do as much damage against Brian as possible. Katos, get OSC, has the feedback, uses it against Stim Zealot, so he can't Chrono Boost. In the very beginning of your game. Chrono Boost is, I happen to like it. You do quite a bunch of, love right there, adding some speed to your buddies right now. We got a Predator trying to push off 1X. 1X, the 5 upgrade, having sensible build, having carrier right there. And the entire blue side is basically over here. Pizza, the shield tank, without any shields, getting shields from Stim Zealot, and that's basically him choosing to use his energy on shields instead of Chrono Boost. Pizza, get on back. You ain't got the range for that. You ain't got the range for the longbow missiles. And the beautiful Plague from Bronco hidden to deconstruct. With his interceptors. Interceptors 5. Trying to do that. We got a free the Void Ray. The Blink having Void Ray, that's a quick blink. 1.86 speed and blink, he's going to be quite safe in the very beginning of the game. Unless somebody collectivized their money and went first upgrade, I don't know, stasis. Which even that you'd be pretty safe from because that's impossible, number 1. And 2, you could blink away from it. Behemoth getting a nice healthy feedback away. We got 2 Colossi on the red side. We got Twisted Balls moving on back. He has quite a bunch of money because he was farming. Now this is the gamble when it comes to the 4 upgrade laser build, which was kind of standard in the olden days. And you're not going to kill anybody. Okay, you're just not going to kill anybody in the first 2 seconds of the game. Oh no, let's cry about it. But look how much money you got. Plus now you can see that he has 2 Colossi and and an Arbiter. So he can choose what he wants to put into there. And that basically worked out because nobody on his team died in the very beginning. If one of the people on your team dies in the very beginning or is in trouble, you can't really help them because you ain't got the longbow missiles or the cool abilities. But you do have now the time to be helpful. So it kind of is a sacrifice for the first couple minutes of time. But sometimes in that couple minutes you'll die or get way out of position or you can't push. So it can backfire, most definitely. Behemoth pushing on up. Behemoth pushing that MaffumanCasting. Actually, he was getting Chrono Boost. Chrono Boost! Helping him shoot a little faster, move a little faster. And definitely going to help push Twisted Balls and the rest of them back. Pita. Now they're both crowding around the middle. The middle is where you definitely want to farm. The nice little Goldilocks zone right there. Twisted Balls getting feedback. Let's see if everybody goes up and gets by. We want to keep it on the Battlecruiser because the Battlecruiser is extremely versatile. Could choose a whole bunch of different things. Could get nuke. Could get lockdown. Okay, he chooses lockdown. Sensible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships to lockdown. Some of them, the Arbiter especially, the Raven especially, the 2 Colossi especially, are very good to do. So, lockdown's reasonable to get. Katos has the feedback. Predator is being boosted right there. Got the extra Plague off of there. And Twisted Balls couldn't use his lockdown against that. Let's see. Behemoth pushing back. He's gonna he has like 5 upgrades on his shields. That's 5 out of 3 money. Let's see what he ends up putting them into. You know, he is the tank, and actually there's no tanks on the blue side whatsoever. There's double shield tank on the red side with support, so they can tank just a whole bunch of damage. No question about that. But they also want to make sure they have some damage ability, so like, even if the antimatter missiles are like, you know, arguably not as good as the missile boats, you still want to have some way of sustaining damage. That might be not the best positioning for Behemoth. He did want to scare everybody off, and he certainly did. Nobody's going to be killed in the first couple minutes of his game, and he's just going to try to use his shieldiness to get on back. I don't think he hasn't upgraded the automatic recharge. That'd be a good thing to do with his 530 money. Macagex trying to farm. Macagex mostly has low range, a little EMP shockwave. Free, getting on back. Went 5 prismatic beam. Certainly can blink in, certainly can do some damage. Predator swings and misses. Twisted Balls and Ghetto weren't going to get phased by that. Ooh, there's a little feedback right there on the Brian. Everybody's trying to move on back. Stay a little bit further away. The blue side knows that they kind of don't have very much like sustained damage at the moment. They got 3 support ships, so they're great at supporting, but not so great at retreating. Not so great at retreating. Ooh, another swing and a miss from Predator. Predator has the Plague, and he has enough energy to keep on supporting it, but he does want to have to actually hit them. It's an area of effect. It can miss. There's a time delay. Pita went for the invulnerability shield. Well, if you're going to be a tank, you should, you know, that's one way of being tanky. As long as his energy doesn't get drained, he can use invulnerability shield. Renders the Colossus invulnerable for like 15 seconds, and you everything. The only thing that it's susceptible to is you know, a vortex, and we are not seeing that from 1X just yet. Let's see. We got the invulnerability shield being used, and if he can get close, he can use his thermal lance. And there we go, got the 1-shot off, and that's about all. He's still at full health though, and now he's finally susceptible to like all the cool stuff that you want to do, like a plague and a, you know, feedback used little arbiter on arbiter battle. Twisted Balls pushing back. Bronco using the has 2 abilities, Side Blast and Plague. Side Blast for big gun technique, and the Plague for sustained damage. Free coming in, being sneaky, has the charge. Now, if we can get a little bit behind them, he could act as a great place to warp in. Let's see if that ends up happening. Always got to be prepared for some warp-ins. If it's a little bit too quiet, if it's a little bit not right there, and Pita is gonna push. Pita, the pusher, has some like kind of farming abilities right here. Went for some extra range. Range only affects his range on his particle disruptors, his lasers, not his missiles. And Free decides to retreat. He wasn't. I guess they didn't end up warping. And actually, warping, you know, you really don't have very much like the best team for a warp. At least at the moment, there's no stasis or vortex to make it really worth your time. Behemoth being boosted, but then gets feedbacked. Moving on up, trying to get some sweet money up here, but gonna have to retreat back. Look at you, I got it. So he has some shields, and he has like the little minimalist farming. He's actually 3-shotting right now because it's way past the 10-minute mark. You want to upgrade that a bit. Red side retreating with most of their ships in pretty decent health, but you want to make sure you do that. There's always the possibility of an early stasis. You don't want to get caught off guard. That's why Stim Zealot used his feedback. Interceptors at 14. Interceptors at 14 versus Deconstructs 11. The difference right there is the 3 extra. Was not spent on Plasma Surge. Plasma Surge recharges with 125 shield points for friendly units in the target area. Have their maximum shield amount increased by 25%. The shield armor increased by 5 for 20 seconds. And we got Behemoth pushing up. And Behemoth being pushed away by 3 support ships. Only one of them could actually like heal the other. And Bronco coming in and shooting his big gun. Beautiful lockdown on Behemoth. He doesn't actually have any abilities though. I mean, okay, he doesn't have any like offensive or defensive abilities. He just has like the transportation ability. And Behemoth being pushed up by 3. 3 being defensive matrix by MaffumanCasting. And because of that, he was able to take a lot more damage and do a lot more damage to the Colossus. Not quite enough to get him out of the shield though. Predator. Now, we got back and forth blasts and feedbacks and side blasts. And look at these cute little Tempest. House Tempest moving on in. Twisted Balls moving on back. They're kind of trying to protect them. They're trying to stay in the area. But look at these interceptors. These interceptors coming in. They ain't going to do very much. Maki can't stay alive. You are the shield tank. You can transfer shields, but then you just burn your health. Beautiful Plague hitting that Colossus. The nuke, defensive nuke, just as he is going into the cloud, and he does get boosted. Boosting is going to help him try to get back, and doesn't quite enough. Even though he's still in the shields, he's out of commission for a little bit. There he goes. Bronco trying to farm, but then moving on back. You're a little bit limited in your farm ability with the Overlord. It can do so much, damage once you get money, but it's a bit easier to get it because you can use Mutalisks. Harder to get it because you can't upgrade your range. Your Energy Blast is like at 5 range ever. So your Mutalisks are good for farming, but if they're launched out for farming, they're not going to be good if they get shot down. So it's one or the other. Twisted Balls, taking some damage. He's just trying to keep that farm up a little bit. Because he went for nuke and lockdown, he's almost out of energy. He has 400 potential. Basically just having laser batteries. He does not have the missiles to sustain afterwards, because he has to choose what he's going to put money into. We got the red side trying to farm to the best of their ability. Interceptors are pushing up, and even though they're not very hurt, they should retreat just to be safe. You never know. There's still no stasis, still no vortex, but they don't know that. When you click on your opponent's ships, it just tells you these bottom numbers. Doesn't give you any of these right side numbers or effects or abilities. So you're kind of guessing. You're saying, what should they have? What might they have? Looking at their upgrades, what don't they have, essentially? If they do have speed or upgrades on interceptors or something, then they don't have money for other stuff. So Twisted Balls had 4 lasers. He has some abilities. They didn't know that he had nuke, but they found out later. They've seen him use lockdown. So it's a kind of memorizing what your opponents have used and trying to figure out what they could use it for. Predator launching 1490 plus 250 bio and shields with his plasma gun. Nice. Bronco and Predator launching out their plagues and their psi blasts. Interceptors doing quite a bunch of damage to deconstruct. We got Pizza and Behemoth and the rest of the red side trying to save them. That was probably half and half damage. Pizza's thermal lance was probably doing enough damage to the enemy ships as well as Deconstructs, but Deconstruct stayed alive, so it was worth it. Let me work it. Predator is going to basically just keep on plaguing down and reversing it because he has these 2 abilities, and he has a whole bunch of energy to keep on supporting them. And what's going to happen, though, is he's going to find it hard to get anything else, because he doesn't have... even though these are the 2 coolest favorite abilities that like everybody gets, you do want to make sure you can farm. He has 3 shot on his Energy Blast, and okay, Energy Blast, maybe that's not your way of farming, because your Mutalisk is only doing 2 shots. That's where he's starting to get some more range, nice, and getting some, upgrades on them. And while we were talking, Free is just sitting there like, I guess I'll just take on a battle station. And they were able to push it back into the, about 5,000 life. A quarter of its life is left. And Behemoth is going to keep on pushing up. He doesn't have AG right now. So he was just pushing with his antimatter missiles and his basic thickness. Pita is going to push. We got the Raven defending to the best of his ability. Now he's using his shield recharge. Will that be enough? Pita is going to keep on trying to push. Pita has a bunch of partner destructors and decent enough antimatter missiles. The blasts are going to keep on pushing him. Defensive matrix being used. Will that be enough to save him right there? The blast, one more, and there we go. Pita does finally take out with a bunch of buddy support right there. Deconstruct, launching his interceptors, try to do the best he can. MaffumanCasting, he was using his defensive matrix, and when he had shields, he was using shields. That Storm hitting free. Oh, little Tempest, Sky Furies also hitting free. Getting some free damage there. See what I did there? We got a Stim Zealot pushing on up. He's got this electromagnetic storm. Synergy does more damage at this moment, 249, because he upgraded his energy a little bit more. 1x, farming, launching his interceptors, and they're gonna try to go in there. We got Pizza using the invulnerability shield when nobody was attacking him. Yeah, I guess now he's taking a little bit of damage. 1, 2, and the 15 seconds is still going on. The 15 seconds is almost out, and there we go. Pizza moving on out. Now, Brian has 10 upgrades, not 10 upgrades, he has 10 range, which is about 3 upgrades on his burst lasers, and that's basically just to, like, stay alive. It's actually, you can't upgrade how far your EMP shock rate is, that's always at 10 as well, but these interceptors are just, like, massive damage right there. 48. 48's gonna wreck somebody like, Brian, the Raven, because he got no armor. He's got 1.91 speed, great. He's got a little bit of shield life, but that shield life doesn't have any armor either. So interceptors are just a menace to support ships. And Bronco is also a menace to anybody who doesn't like taking damage. There's a beautiful EMP to do some damage. You got Plague, which did miss. Predator. Again, these Mutalisks are okay at farming, but that's the only thing you can do to farm. Behemoth running on back. He's got a 300 energy just for Thermal Lance. It's 100 energy per shot. He can shoot it 3 times, yeah. But also he can survive being EMP'd right there, and that's mostly why he has to upgrade it. He might even have to upgrade it even more, because there's a couple things that can drain energy. It's a great ability, but you gotta have the energy to support it. Free, doing some damage. Using a charge, does try to do as much as possible. Behemoth trying to push, he's staying in that range, and the Void Ray does eventually move on back. Blue side, retreating. Money's staying about the same. Even with one down ship. But blue side was on the offensive, and now they're going on back, keeping a healthy distance though. I mean, look at that Seeker. Seekers can travel for forever. 15 seconds, not upgraded, and definitely not going to catch Bronco. Now, if he does, of course, I'm going to be, quit casting. There we go. Whew. All right, we got 1x. Ooh, he does get plagued. Predator using that plague ability. It's kind of one of those, like, you expect it to happen, and that's where overlords are kind of like the burst damage. They can do the plague and try to do some hull damage. They got some side blast, but they don't sustain it very well. They don't have a good follow through. Their missiles are like okay-ish, and their Mutalisks are mostly for farming. Pizza moving on in, hitting the invulnerability shield a little bit early again. Still, but yeah, it was great for that one like electromagnetic storm, but it's going to be out. Yeah, by the time that he gets anywhere close to the towers, anywhere close to the damage. Little preemptive, and now it's going to not be there for another 126 seconds. The Colossi, using Thermal Lance whenever possible, area of effect, and also can kill Interceptors. Interceptors at 20 though, so they can take the entire Thermal Lance by themselves, and be fine. we got a solo farming Void Ray back here. We're gonna keep an eye on. We got Free the Void Ray is going for the Superman build. Now what I mean by that is he's going to go try to farm up, leave his buddies alone, and then come in at the very end and save everybody. Kind of like relying on the cloak. Now cloak is great, but there's like 1, 2, 3 ships who could like drain his energy or detect him, and so I'm not sure if he's going to do fully there. Now Stim Zealot also went for cloaking Field, which can cloak his buddies, and that might force Bronco to get a Siphon Energy or something like that. Forces if it's a bad thing, but it actually is a good thing to get. I mean, at this point, you got everybody here pretty much being crazy with energy. You might as well get it. It just does take away from the thing that, every Overlord likes to do, and just, Psy Blast, Kamehameha only builds. We got a beautiful EMP hitting everybody. Air effect still in effect. Pizza pressing that N key, scaring people away because he's invulnerable, and not taking any damage with that invulnerability. I mean, he wasn't also being attacked, but he didn't take any damage because he was also invulnerable. We got the blue side now kind of pushing again now that the Pita is damageable, able to be damaged even if he's not being hit. Behemoth just has the one ability, again 300 energy, so he has a bunch of shields. He has a 18.5 armor on his shields versus 17? 18.5 losses. Something funky's happening. We got a Predator pushing on up. Blue side retreating. Blue side getting on back. EMP, nice hit against Predator on X. We got the Colossi pushing on up. Now Predator does take extra damage from Bronco, so and these interceptors, if those interceptors were able to see Predator, they probably could have been able to take them out, but that is not going to be quite enough. We got exchange right there. Now if those interceptors coming back, if they could hit Predator more, we got the Plague, the Storm, everything pushing back the Colossus right there, but it is not quite enough because the Colossus just has so much health. Cute little observer buddy, staying within the cloud. The observers don't automatically detect, but they are giving vision of this cloud. So if nothing else, you're seeing it on the radar. Right there. 1x, being defensive matrix. Pita coming in. He has no energy right now to take damage, and he is doing quite a bunch. Stim Zealot providing some cloak support. We got Pita. Shield tank without any shields, he's in the 4,000 life. If there is not the EMP probably saved him, and if the interceptors are able to see, that could also hit him. But Pita at 4,000 life is gonna have to retreat, or at least recharge his shields quite significantly before he gets back into combat, which is relatively fast, but still takes some time. We got Stim Zealot, interceptors of 18 upgrades. Bronco trying to run away. He has 22 damage on his meter list after 5 upgrades. 1x, 23. Interceptors are comparable. And we got everybody on the red side being a bit cautious. And the blue side is actually not moving up. Now, I think what was happening was the red side was like, there's nobody really attacking us. So where are they? Well, they were actually at base. Either recharging, regrouping, strategizing, but they were not around the side. Maybe they thought that they were. Katos coming in. He has 16 upgrades on his phase disruptors with 11 range. So he is trying to just range, attack, and damage, follow through and maybe take out some interceptors along the way. Damage Arbiter, Battle Arb, just has his abilities for feedback and electromagnetic storm, unlike what's it called? Some boost in cloaking field abilities from Stim Zealot. And Brian is going to be taken out by 1x. Ghetto SC running away using his range. And the range does, of course, you know, way outrange most other things. So it's not unuseful, it's just unusual. We got Stim Zealot taking quite a bunch of damage. We got a no cookie able to use Pita. There we go, using that invulnerability shield to scare away all of your friends and all of your buddies. And really keep on attacking, keep on taking that Bronco. He's just going to have quite a bunch of damage. He turns his attention to the other people. He has quite a bunch, and there's a blackout. Blackout only affects Behemoth. Behemoth is going to move on up. We got a cloak. We got 1x whooping on it. We got a storm perfectly on the carrier. Pizza pushing up. Pizza trying to stay kind of in the range of the gas, and he doesn't have very much life after he gets out of shields. He does stay quite alive. We got the Interceptors pushing on it. 1x taking a bunch of damage, and 1x also taking worrying about the Interceptors, so he couldn't push too much further. We got MaffumanCasting not in a great position right now because he was also susceptible to Interceptor sneakiness, and we got the Observer staying there in the clouds, giving the vision. So earlier the Colossus was trying to like stay here in the clouds, and it wasn't as effective because the Observer was already getting vision. And if you can see inside the clouds, you'll be fine. Free, doing some more damage. Trying to farm up a little bit more. Again, he has the beam. He has 100 damage at 0.21 speed. You can upgrade that speed even more, or upgrade charge to double. You know, it can stack up to 2 times. You might even do that at this point. Which, even though these Colossus are like great, Colossus are their shields generally do a bunch of tankiness, but they are only at 18.5. That is more shields and more armor than most things, but it's not like a Destro that has like 50 armor or something like that. So Void Rage stacking is still going to do well. Colossus have the advantage of like being able to take damage, get out of combat, and recharge. So their longevity is a little better, but you know, their initial damage is you know, still susceptible to Void Race right there. Get OSC coming on in, feedbacking, and running away. Get OSC. Now the lasers do target capital ships first, then farm, then the interceptors. So we have to tell them to shoot the interceptors. That's a little bit hard to do as a with your just A moving. So he's farming, but these interceptors are able to like fly around. 18 upgrades, 44 damage. Double stacked Colossus right there. And Storm hitting them. Feedback hitting them. Behemoth just kind of, you know, does have to take some damage, and Behemoth is going to be hurt. Is there a double shield? Is there going to be enough to have him die? Then it is going to happen. Bronco takes him out. Free is still taking damage because the cloak was invalidated, and then there is a blackout hitting everybody in the area. This Predator is not affected by the effects of blackout. The Interceptors are going to chase away Predator. Interceptors, you know, friend and foe alike being hit by MaffumanCasting, and the Free does make it out there with a free kill. A 4-5 game right now. After the blue side was able to pick them up. We got a defensive matrix. Now the Arbiter does have, you know, 44 damage on his you know, phase disruptors, but that's still, you know, not gonna one-shot interceptors. Interceptors are still gonna take 12 armor and a whole bunch of life. Bronco hitting them. Oh, Bronco would have loved to have hit Predator, but he can't right now. The Interceptors, they you know, will keep on going, maybe hitting some Stim Zealot a little bit more. We got a Pizza up there, but the rest of this team is still dealing with Interceptors because Stim Zealot is quite susceptible to any Interceptor attack. And Bronco, if he keeps on attacking, could maybe take him out. but Pita came in at just the right time. EMP, so Pita can't do any type of abilities. We got Bronco being defensive matrix and being also being blasted by the side blast right there. X using that that EMP shockwave does hit all of Deconstruct's interceptors, takes them all down to at least their shield life. Blast, EMP, exchange, Tempest being silly and can't really see at the moment because this observer might not be quite in the gas. It's close to the gas, but not quite in it. Interceptors pushing in. Stim Zealot trying to stay in the gas, trying to use some the gas is covered, but they do have to retreat. Free coming in, blinking and charging. Is that going to be enough to take out the Arbiter right there? It might just be. He's going to take them all out. Free getting another pickup. It's a 3 versus 5 scenario with the Void Ray using Cloak and then using the Blink ability to jump on him. If you see the Blink, it might be able to take out Predator. He does not commit to it. He already picked up 1 kill. He does not need to kill everybody in 1 push. Be a little bit patient there, kids. We got the battle station taking out quite a bunch of, taking some damage. It was able to heal, but not necessarily fully. From that earlier attack where it got down to about 4,000 life, it's gotten back to almost there, and it's going to be hurt back there. We got Bronco doing some damage. We got Pizza moving in invulnerability shield already being used, and the battle station is down to about 2,000 life. Will they commit to taking it out? It might be worth it just for Bronco to go in there, and he does take it out. No more healing for that battle station. Pita pushing on up. We got Pita trying to do some damage. Look at those antimatter missiles. Who said that a tank can also be a heavy damage dealer? We got the antimatter missiles doing 90 to general life, and will that be enough? There is some extra defense. We got the Void Ray taking out a bunch of damage. He's way too close to the base, though. He does hit the blink away. Blink away. We got a Predator pushing on up. X, did take some extra damage. You got the tower doing the best that it possibly can, but it can't take the entire team for very long. It only does 200 damage per shot. It's going to also possibly go down. The Colossus was saved, but the tower could not finish them off, and the Void Ray did get out just in time. Storm, Blast, Predator, hurt. We got Pizza moving on up. We got X coming in and staying a little bit cautious. Using that 10 range, he's probably figuring out who and where and why to black out if he needs it. Swing and a miss from Bronco there, but the blue side is generally circling the base. The Deconstruct, I think, already left the game. Beautiful play on both X and Bronco by Predator, but oh, he's just taking damage. He's just sitting there being shot. Oh, the huge vanity. And they're going to try to chase him in, but the mothership is still doing some damage, not much, but it's also just providing a bunch of health. Interceptor is going to take out Deconstruct. Blackout going to hit Pita, and the blue side's just circling on in. The Void Ray isn't even engaged in this fight at the moment. He's just, there he is. Now Free's back. He's like, alright kids, I'm back in this. Mothership doing some more damage. X pushing on up. The Mothership Command Center is taking more and more and more, and this is basically going to be a good game. Predator was taken out by Ghetto SC, and Pizza using his invulnerability shield just to scare them. And not going to be quite enough. Going to keep on taking more and more and more. He's just staying alive no matter what they do. And will he be able to pull it off? It could happen, but it won't happen. And there we're gonna go. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Press like, press subscribe. We're doing StarCraft Star Battle all the time. Make sure you send you guys your replays to MaffumanCasting@gmail.com to have your games rewatched.